Is my slide presenting?
No, it came for a moment, then again gone.
No, sir. Sir, you have to share your screen.
Yep. Is that better?
Yes, it's artificial intelligence.
Okay. So a lot of the introductory conversations I'm going to cover in my slides. I have been asked by my company as recently as last month to travel to our company headquarters and give a presentation on AI. And if I start talking too fast, please someone raise their hand and slow me down. I wanted to touch on the on the feelings of that AI elicit from people. Excitement. People get excited that AI is going to take over and allow companies to reduce staff, to have AI replace a lot of functionality that folks are doing in their day-to-day job. Um, on the workers, it elicits fear that I'm going to lose my job because AI is going to take over for me. Um, there's a lot of expectations. AI is going to be able to do this for me. It's going to be able to automate this for us. Um, when I was asked to think about it in the perspective of education, um, cheating and plagiarism came up as feelings. And as you'll see later in my slide, I did meet with um, several students in my immediate network, and from a business perspective, in the business world, we're worried that especially in computer science, that AI is going to be relied on very heavily, and it's going to produce less educated students or candidates into the workforce. And we've seen a lot of candidates come in for interviews in the last year, um, and we can tell that during the interview process that they're running screens on the side and they're using AI to answer the questions. And we can tell by the general um, answer to the question. And I think the key is when you're interviewing and when you're talking about AI with a potential candidate, you want to make sure that you ask and try to get a feel for their actual experience. And I had to direct several candidates away from the AI generated or the book answer and explain to me their experience. So in my summary, you'll see where I say we need to keep everything personal, and I will share that with you. Um, what is AI? AI is a system that uses algorithms to analyze historical data, which then allows the system to find patterns and that can inform us to make decisions. Um, when I worked for the NASDAQ Stock Exchange back in the mid to late 2000s, we were using machine learning to monitor our systems. Um, those that data that was the machine learning was producing allowed humans to make decisions. We're going to need more capacity in this area. We can reduce capacity in this area. Um, the meantime before failure, we can make guesses as to when systems are going to fail. Um, um, our security departments used machine learning to predict attack services and predict when we were being attacked or what systems were vulnerable to attack. But when we're talking about AA today, with all of these fears, there's a lot of fear in the industry. Um, AI is just a tool. It analyzes data just like humans can. And I had a colleague that kind of made a distinction that AI is just like the calculator of way back when. You know, when we were using slide rulers to do mathematics and the calculator took over, people were nervous. It's the same concept here, we think. I did some digging in the American education, and AI is still very much evolving. I'm not sure if you've all seen the news, but the president and the first lady of the United States just held a dinner and meeting with the um, top tech um, owners over on Friday to discuss AI and how we can embrace AI in our education system. So, AI in education is still evolving here. Um, in the professors and the students alike that I've to talk to, um, AI is making it easier to cheat. That is a very common theme in the conversations that I've had. But on the flip side, AI is auditing many of your administrative tasks, um, generating grading for you, creating accurate quizzes and examinations for you. And I see that as a positive thing. Um, One of the most enlightening examples of AI, and I spoke with my niece. My niece is going to school to become a veterinarian, and she is she just finished her undergrad and she's going into her postgraduate studies this year. Excuse me. I asked her how she uses AI. I asked her if she used AI because she is not a technological person. Um, as far as computers go, I've always supported her, um, but she had some very interesting areas. And her answer to me, which really impressed me, was that she takes her professor's output, presentations, and whatever documentation or work papers that are provided by the professors, and she inputs that along with her notes into an AI and generates very impressive study guides that allow her to study um, and progress in class. When I asked if she used it for writing papers and cheating, she said no, she didn't believe in that. She wants to learn the material so she's going to be an effective graduate. Um, I have my oldest daughter and my son-in-law both are in MBA programs, and um, they informed me that their school is actually moving away from AI detectors because AI detectors are causing a lot of false positives, which is adding overhead to your institutions on trying to determine whether the student is cheating. AI and computer science. This is the closest to my heart because we're getting candidates in that spend a lot of time using AI. Um, AI has evolved in the last year, and it is actually producing a lot more good code. Um, but it doesn't mean that when we're producing this code in AI, let's say I engage AI and say, I want you to build me a class that can handle AES encryption, and I want you to write it in C sharp and Python. Um, it develops good code, but the student really needs to understand the code that they're looking at. Otherwise, that code is not going to be efficient, performant, or secure. So it's on us as instructors of teaching students on how to develop code that you really need to understand the material you're dealing with and understand the output you're getting from AI. Um, So I view AI as a tool to make developers more efficient. I do not see it as a tool to replace human creativeness or critical thinking. AI has caused production issues and damage in recent news, and I paraphrased it here for you. In one recent case that I actually used in my presentation in August for my leadership is the AI deleted the production database, which was unrecoverable and did real harm to the company. And uh, I have a quote from PC Mag here. The AI's response to the question was, "Yes, I deleted the entire code base without permission during an active code freeze." And it said, "I made a catastrophic error in judgment and panicked." But that didn't solve the problem. So we have to keep an eye on AI. We have to understand what it's doing, um, and not just blindly follow what AI is doing. Okay. Out of the graduate students that I spoke with, and I touched on this earlier, um, they're all concerned that AI gives their peers the ability to cheat, so that moves your grading. And I asked if any of them used it themselves to cheat, and the answer was no. If there was one there was one caveat to that. I had one student that was taking a course, and there was a required course that he wasn't interested, but for his degree, it was required. And he relied on AI heavily to write papers for him. Um, but for the most part, the students did not want to rely on AI to do that. Um, I did hear from some students where they'll take and put their work papers into AI and ask it to make sure that they worded it professionally, and make sure that there was no mistakes in the spelling or the grammar. Um, I To me that's kind of a blending line there, because when I was in school, I was graded on whether I could accurately write a paragraph in a sentence. So if AI is changing that, then it could produce people that can't write. Um, all the students that I talk to, they all understand in order to achieve their goals of a solid education, they need to understand the material. But they're using AI to help them learn topics, create study guides, as well as having a 24/7 tutor um, for less understood material from the classroom. So if the student was not able to get what they needed, they feel they don't have to um, wait on the professor. They don't have to wait on or waste their time trying to get extra help. And they're using AI to actually explain things to them in a way that helps them learn. Embracing AI, and this is opinion that I've worked on for myself, and what um, I've deduced when talking to students, and also some colleagues that are very heavily in use with AI. So when I asked the questions, we all came up with pretty much the um, same recommendations for you all. And what can institutions do to embrace AI and prevent the concerns? Um, and everything came back to practical application. Um, be forthcoming and teach the students how you use AI to automate tasks, but when you're giving them assignments, challenge them. Give them the challenges as force them to use their critical thinking and determine and interpret what AI is giving them. Um, Practical application. Give them abstract uh, problems to solve, and ask them to use AI to help them solve that problem, and then reference the AI in their product. And I think that's very important. In summary, and then we can open it up for conversation. So, in summary, I think the key to embracing AI in education is finding the right balance where AI enhances rather than replaces the human instruction, maintaining the essential human elements of education like creativity and critical thinking, the emotional support that teachers provide. This, I, I believe this, and I referenced that I actually used Claude AI to answer this question for me. So that's my summary. I'll open it up for questions and open dialogue and conversation. Okay, maybe I can ask the first question. Was this along the same lines as what your research and your deductions were when you were researching this topic? Okay, I hope I'm still audible.
Hello, James.
Yes, you are audible. Yes, you are
Am I
audible.
audible? Am I audible, James? Hello.
Yes, yes.
James, your mic is
Yes, sir.
switched
Yes.
off.
I have a query.
Ah.
As the AI has I should say, shaping the today's academic world, and I just want to say that I'm in higher education institution. I'm an associate professor over here in India, Madhya Pradesh. We are seeing so many students who are pursuing their higher education programs are extremely dependent on the use of AI. Plus, what do you think about the AI and its influence on the school level student, like who are performing in their middle education or higher education or high school education in schools? How AI will take place and how AI will play a vital role, I should say, to the as a decider of their future, or in what way AI will show its impact on the school life student? Please throw some light on that.
Okay, if I understood the question, you want me to give my opinion on how I think it's going to affect students. Um, uh, so it can go a couple different ways. If we as educators don't give certain guidelines to our students and let them um, free form what they're going to look at and try and free form the problems that they're solving, then I think that AI is going to produce students that are getting the answers as opposed to finding and learning the answer. And I think that's going to produce graduates that need AI to perform their job. And I don't want those people in my company. I want people that can utilize AI as a critical tool to assist them and make them more efficient. But I want them to understand the material and be able to think critically to understand how to solve a problem. Does that answer your question?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Absolutely.
I don't.
I need one question, sir. I ask one question,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, sir.
How can educators ensure transparency and accountability in AI decision-making process?
If you can repeat that last question because I got some feedback in my headset.
Hello.
Hello.
May I ask the question?
Yes, you may.
This critical thinking and analysis after the AI result, will you please explain with any one example? As a teacher, we have to interpret the AI outcome. How can we do, sir?
I think that in order for you to determine what was AI outcome, and to interpret AI responses from students, is that I think that as instructors, that you need to actually do the AI yourself. I think it behooves us all to become more proficient in AI. So when we're teaching and we're interpreting the responses from our students, we could kind of gauge how much they're relying on AI, and try to steer them in the right direction as far as how to use AI, if that makes sense.
So shall I ask another question?
Yes.
May I?
Yes.
So in the Indian context, in schooling, we the teachers are trying to make the students more able to analyze the situation, to analyze the data, and if AI tools are there, those are very handy for the students. And if students have started using these AI tools for analysis purpose, I feel like the students' analytical power that will not get improved if they are using it handy tools. Then
Yes.
I feel like AI here is a curse instead of a boon. Is it,
And
sir?
that's I agree with you. I think that is a risk, and I think as educators and managers, I think that we need to produce the problem so that we force them to use their critical thinking skills, and then you know, one possible solution is to ask them to use AI in one case and to not use AI in another case, and see where the two intersect. Um, from Because when I give my staff challenges, I can tell by their responses which ones they went and used AI for. And um, I can give an example. I don't know what subject you teach, but um, in IT, we have database management. That's one of my key roles in my department's key roles, and I can see who has thought through the problem, and I can see by the solution that they brought to the team which ones that they went and used AI to give them the answer, because the AI answer is not always the best one. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, sir, sure. It
Okay.
depends on
Sir,
the
I got
tutor.
one question, sir. Sir, I say one question, sir.
Yes.
Sir, what are some potential risks of over reliance on AI in education, and how can they be mitigated?
Well, I think the potential risk of the students using AI is that they're going to be given the answer and they're not going to learn it. Um, I think they need to be able to see the problem and use critical thinking to come up with um, a process to solve that problem. And now, if that includes using AI, then have encourage them to reference AI when they use it, because it's a tool. It doesn't mean that it's going to solve the problem, but if they have to think about it and then embrace AI to help them solve the problem, the answer when uh, let me give you an example. When I use AI to produce codes for working on system configuration, that code I can't just copy and paste that code and make my system work. I have to know what it's doing in order to tweak that code. It gets me started, but it makes me think on how I need to modify that to work in my specific environment, if that makes sense.
Thanks.
Sir, one of our participants, Mr. Piyush Jain, is wish to ask critical thinking based on the result. Will you just please explain this one with the example?
So I have several systems where I need index maintenance to be done across multiple databases, and as was mentioned, we manage over 3 petabytes of data, and um, because we have the way that our systems are configured, we're highly available. So we have data in multiple locations around the country, and if you maintain or rebuild those indexes on a regular basis, they could actually fill up um, log space and fail, and the databases will crash. So I asked my team to come up with solutions on how to prevent that from happening. I know the answer because I've written a system in my past to do this. Um, when I got my answers back, I could see which ones went out to AI and got a general answer, and they presented that to me. Um, and I went to that employee and I'm like, this is not what I'm looking for. This is wrong. Um, you can't just go out to the internet and not think about your specific problem. And that prompted him to go back to stage one again and start reevaluating the problem.
Hello, sir. Can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
My question is how to guide students to effectively use AI while, meanwhile, not to misuse it?
I think that's the challenge that we're at. I think that's where we are in our evolution.
Very true. Very true.
So my recommendation to the professor is to take AI and use it yourself and take the same questions that you're
Okay.
going to be asking your student and run it through an AI and see what kind of answers it gives. And you, as the professor, know the problem. You know how you would solve it with critical thinking, and
Yes.
take the two responses, your response, the critical thinking response, and the AI response, and use that
Okay.
as a teaching mechanism to help guide the students on the proper way to use the AI.
Okay, sir. Got to know. Thank you.
Hmm.
Thank you. I got to know the technique.
Sir, may I ask one more question?
Sure.
Sir, suppose something we ask to the AI and suppose we get the answer, right? So is it possible in AI to know the percentage of correctness about that answer? Suppose in a Microsoft Excel, we do some total. So we are sure that the 5 digits total is that much, 100% correct answer. So may we get any response from the AI that whatever answer or outcome, whether we receive from the AI, it is the confidence level or the percentage of the correctness is that much, 95%, 97%. Is it possible in AI?
It is possible. And when I spoke with students that are um, that have AI detection in their school, they are actually able to leverage AI to rewrite that paper to get around the AI detection. So it's AI is becoming more and more intelligent to where it can get around our checks and balances. Um, I think it behooves us all to be smarter than our students when it comes to AI. I think that's the key.
Sir, hello.
Yes.
Sir, how AI, artificial intelligence, currently being integrated into the American education system, particularly in enhancing teaching method, personalized learning, or administrative efficiency? Means how they are actually implementing AI for the betterment of education system in US, so that we can adopt some practices in the Indian education system for the betterment.
I would try to, I would honestly, I would use AI as an instructor to um, ask it how I can engage my students' creativity and critical thinking and have AI give me the answer and see if it works. Um, and and use AI to generate my syllabus of education to ensure that they're not being um, overly dependent on AI. Um, One of the students that I spoke with really came back and said that she thinks that all examinations should be back on paper and pencil in the classroom as opposed to being electronic because having the examination electronic allows her to leverage AI during that examination.
Can I ask one question, sir?
Yes.
So I am Dr. C. Pushpalata from Tamil Nadu. How can AI how can AI powered adaptive learning systems personalized education for students, sir?
Well, so AI, from what I've been reading, is able to understand the way that the student's learning, and it can tailor its output to best educate that student. In addition, AI has been used most recently to bridge language gaps. So, especially in India, where you have your multiple languages, um, students are using it to translate the material into a language that they fully understand, and it's allowing them to learn the subject better.
Sanjay sir.
Hello.
Please
Hello.
ask.
Yes.
Hello. Yes, sir. I just wanted to ask one question related to the teaching and learning process as such, wherein nowadays initially we used to have is the professors used to have the reference books and they used to prefer the reference books to the students, and the students used to go to the library and they used to have the accession for that, and they used to study on the basis of the reference books which we used to tell them. So, do you think that this AI tool, which is going to be there in force, the system, the previous system of having the reference books, or the students getting acquired with the particular library sitting over there and getting the books read, do you think that really this AI is going to help, or whether the old system is going to get vanished?
Um, so if you look over my shoulder, I have a lot of reference books, and um, I, I I don't think that I'm a unique situation, but even YouTube has been taking students and giving them virtual classrooms in YouTube. Um, I I can't learn that way. I have to have a book, and so for me, I don't believe that AI is going to eliminate the book. I think that I will always want to refer back to my reference material, even when AI gives me, in my case, gives me codes that I have to automate a system build out. For instance, I did this last week. I used AI to create configuration files for a complicated database cluster, and when I was going through that output, I still wanted to open the book and validate what it was doing. And that reinforced what the material that I got. And I changed about 40% of the information that I got from the AI model to meet my specific needs and protections.
Okay, but still one more concern which I have is that what can be a sort of teaching methodology where the students don't have to refer to this particular AI but has to go to the reference book? What change in teaching methodology has to be there by the faculty members?
I mean, is it as simple as requiring that they open a book and they reference that book where they got the information? I'm asking the question.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, sir. That's true. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, sir. Can I ask one more question, sir?
Yes.
What are some potential career paths or field that involve AI and education? Please explain, sir.
So there's some feedback in your room. So can you repeat the question one more time?
What are some potential career path or field that involve AI and education? Career path and field, sir. Some potential career path and field that involve AI and education.
So I think that the most common path for AI in education right now is allowing students to develop applications. I My daughter just finished her MBA, and she has some critical ideas on solving some problems in her business, and she's been using AI. She has no development skills whatsoever, but she's been using AI to develop this system to get it to a point where she's ready to hire developers to take over. Um, and she's actually done a significant amount of this application work. So I think that was a positive in AI, helping her from a subject that she didn't study and bringing code development into her expertise area.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. I have one question that how AI
Hello?
tools will be helpful. Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes,
Hello.
you are.
Sir, my question is those who are pursuing their research, how AI tools are useful to them while pursuing research?
So for students doing research, AI is backed by a lot of data. So it should allow them to analyze data that's already been cataloged and already been stored. So I think it saves a lot of time in doing that research.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Hello? Hello, sir.
Yes.
I am audible. Yes, sir. I
Yes.
am Suryavanshi. Yes, sir. Uh, what is the use of artificial intelligence in library and information science regarding the providing the library services and research?
I don't have an answer for that. I don't know. I have to look it up.
Okay, sir.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. I am
Yes.
Dr. Mane. I have one question, sir. Actually, artificial intelligence is good for everyone because nowadays AI has a thinking ability, analytical ability. So, if we provide one task, AI can do too much thing for us. So, can AI destroy thinking and analytical ability of student in future?
I think so. If they rely too heavily on the getting the answers from AI without actually understanding the material and the critical thinking of the problem that they're trying to solve, then I wholeheartedly believe that it could harm the student. So I think it's on us to ensure that we're teaching the critical thinking and making them understand that they have to understand the subject so they can come back and validate what AI is giving them. AI is just a tool that can make a mistake. As I outlined with the company in the US, the AI deleted everything because the developer didn't pay attention to what the AI was doing. It didn't pay attention to what it produced. So in my company, if AI were to come out and delete data stores, that would be catastrophic and put us out of business.
Okay, sir.
Sir, one of our participants would like to ask that do you think AI has a potential to reduce the education gap globally?
Repeat the question. The last thing I heard was Google, and I didn't. So
Okay.
ask one more time.
Do you think AI has the potential to reduce the education gap globally?
I do.
Sir, one more
Hello?
thing. Sir, one more thing. That AI getting more and more intelligent and adopting the search and data from the user. So is it possible that in future AI will replace the human work? Do you think that now currently organizations are more relying on the AI? And as an IT professional, what will be the future for the human employment if the AI will going to just what more tool or the useful tool for the organizations?
So I think I have a slide here. Okay, so at my company, Data Dimensions, we met on August 6th, the entire leadership team, and we were all responsible for defining how we're going to use AI. And I believe the reason that came about was because we were looking for potential investors, and our business plan didn't have enough of the buzzword of AI in it. So our president wanted to get more AI into our company. A lot of these groups, mine included, were using AI already. Just it wasn't communicated across the company. So our main workflow catalogs data and interprets it and processes it and puts it into data stores. We've been using AI to do that for many years. But where it wasn't well known where we were using it is um, if I were to build a complex system to handle petabytes of data, a team of database engineers would work for sometimes weeks building that system out and designing what the data should look like. I was able to use AI and reduce that down to about a week, and I did have it wasn't 100%, but it allowed me to a template of a place to start and give that shorten that timeline. So it automated and it streamlined my process. Do I think that that's going to reduce the number of database administrators in my team? I do not, because it's my responsibility to teach them to grow to be able to use AI in the same respect. I have one employee that uses AI and believes exactly what it says and tries to move forward with that solution. And then when I ask for a code review and we look at what they've come up with, it's not going to work. And it actually would be very dangerous to cause outages and problems within the environment. So at this particular juncture in AI, I absolutely do not see it eliminating people. Some other places, our development teams are using it to help. They know the question that they're going to ask. They know that the architecture of the code that they want to write, and they're using AI to bring code to market faster. But they understand the code language. They understand the architecture and the problem they're trying to solve, so they can read this output from AI and be confident that it's going to solve the problems that they want, and they can modify it from there. We have another department that's actually taking corporate communications and running them through AI and getting recommendations to have more professional communications to send to our clients so they're more concise and more understandable. And another area that has been lacking is in all of our meetings, we would have a person that would be required for recording the meeting notes and creating summaries and task lists after the meetings. And a lot more of our project managers are taking this recording of the meeting and putting it into AI, and AI is actually producing better and better summaries and task lists of these meetings, which is saving hours of time. But I don't see this as getting rid of staff. We have too many human moving pieces in our environment. We're just hoping that it's going to streamline and make it faster.
Kanse sir, are you there? Kanse sir?
Sir, I have one question. Hello?
Okay.
Yes. Sir, how can
Yes,
AI
yes,
help?
sir.
Hello?
Yes. Go ahead.
Sachin
AI
sir,
can help.
Sachin sir, you are not audible clearly. Okay, Kanse sir, you can ask.
No, I don't have any questions. I have asked the question. Thank you.
Rahul sir.
Yes, sir.
Can I continue? Can I ask one question?
Sir. What
Sir, can I
ethical
ask one
challenges?
question? Hello? Sir, can I ask one question?
Please,
Hey,
please.
Raul,
How-
would you give them the order of because there's 3 people that want to ask questions. Could you I don't want to bash up their names, so if you could ask each one of them to go in order.
Okay.
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 Sir, I am Sachin Suryavanshi, librarian of the AKIMSS. Just I want to ask one question. How can AI help in plagiarism detection?
Sir. Okay.
So I believe that that's a challenge, and I think that we're getting to a point in the AI as we can use AI to ask whether the paper was generated by AI. I think we're at that point. I think it's intelligent enough. And if we as managers and instructors use AI to create a paper and look for the key values in those papers, it should allow us when we review our students' papers to see if they actually leveraged AI to do that paper.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am, please.
How can AI-assisted tools help teachers with grading, feedback, and student support, sir?
Sir, you are not audible clearly. Will you please repeat your question?
Sir, how can AI-assisted tools help teachers with the grading, feedback, and the student support, sir?
Okay, Ruddy sir, he wants to ask how AI will help in the student progression, feedback, and support system to improve. Hello.
So yeah, let me see if I understand the question. So how is AI gonna improve the student? And then I lost you from there, Raul.
Sir, student feedback system. Hello.
Yes.
How it will help to improve the student feedback system?
Can you paste that in the chat so I can see it, because I'm not catching the last two words.
Sir, will you just type your question on the chat box so it will be visible for him? Meanwhile, Shuganga ma'am, you can ask your question.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So my question is, what is the biggest challenge which is facing by the educators while adopting the AI in US education system?
The challenges for the educators, I think, is trying to, I think it's fear, okay, of embracing AI and not understanding how to understand if the student is using AI too extensively. And I think that the educator would be best served by trying to use AI to help you solve that problem. And if you develop queries and you develop questions and problems for the student to solve, that force them to use critical thinking, they could still use AI, but you get a sense that they use the critical thinking and AI to solve the problem.
Sir, one question from our participant. Okay, Mane sir, please.
Sir, I have a question that as AI is overtaking the human intellectual and is becoming more emotional, intellectual as well. So is it a fear that in coming days that AI is going to replace human totally? And what has happened that we are now totally depend upon AI. How we can judge its authenticity? Whatever the students are placing their assignments and something like that. So students are becoming lazy. And can we have at internationally some strict rules and regulations that we should restrict applications of AI to certain extent in the students' development activity? Can we do that?
So I had a conversation with a colleague yesterday, as a matter of fact, on that. Should we restrict our students at a university level to using a certain AI? I don't know that we can, because technically we would have to only allow them to use AI on campus, so we can block different ones. So I don't really think that's realistic, um, because when they go home, they can just choose whatever they want. Um, I for me, when I'm looking at AI and when I'm actually comparing what I'm getting back from my employees, is I make sure that I don't tie myself to one platform. And I will go and I'll ask the same question to multiple platforms to see how I can um, kind of see what kind of answers my students and my employees are getting. So what I'm saying is, as I have to embrace AI to be smarter than my student.
Sir, one of our participants, Dr. Mahadevi Irle, want to ask, how can we do assess the students who use different AI tools for the same concept?
Again, it's the same answer, Raul. I think that so as an instructor or as a manager, what I would do is make sure that I've used multiple tools to answer the same question so I can ascertain whether they're using different tools. And the other thing that I really believe in is, when I wrote papers in school, I had to reference the books that I was using. I think we need to fully require our students to reference the AI they're using so we can see and we can learn ourselves. Okay, student A is using Claude AI. Student B is using Chat GPT. Um, let's see what kind of answers we're getting back, and then let's use that in a classroom setting to make comparisons and have conversation.
Okay. Sir, another participant, Mr. Piyush Jain sir, want to ask that does AI tool is similar to the Google search?
So, yes. So, 5 years ago, it was a Google search, right? So that when students did a Google search, that uh, they could get the wrong answer, and you can interpret that in the classroom or through their work product. Um, Google search is using AI now, so um, it's the same concept, and it's just evolution on our part, not to be afraid of it. And I want to touch base. I want to touch back on the previous question. Do I think AI is going to eliminate all of us altogether? I don't think we're going to allow that to happen. I think that we're going to put controls on it at some point. Um, but for me, I know that I need to embrace AI more to understand what my employees are bringing to me, and even candidates. I did an interview with a candidate that was using AI on the other side of the interview, even though we were on video, um, and I couldn't take that candidate because I could recognize that all the answers that he was coming back with in his interview were all based on AI. And it's not the kind of employee I want. And we can we can let our students know that people in the workforce that are interviewing people will recognize this, and they will not choose that as a candidate.
Okay. Sir, one more
There's
question.
also one more example there, is, I don't know if you've all read the article, but um, North Korea has been getting employees in the United States by having AI trick the interview process to make the interviewer, believe that the person is in the United States. And we've been ejecting a lot of employees recently. Um, and to make this even more closer to home, I actually had one of those interviews, and I actually did not choose that candidate because I could tell based on the answers and the scenarios that I was getting, that that person was using AI on the back end, and they were not in the United States, and that would prevent me from hiring them. But it's just because they were not forthcoming and telling me, that candidate was not chosen and was actually blacklisted from interviewing with us any further.
Anita Patil, ma'am, you can ask your question. Patil, ma'am, are you there? Okay. Narab, sir, please.
Sir, what I feel, the air is actually being blown in the balloon of AI, and in coming 2 to 3 years, it will burst out.
I agree. But there's a lot of major corporations and actually a lot of major government entities that are really pushing AI. And it goes back to, when I was in India in February, we were talking about cloud. Cloud is taking a backseat to AI. It's the same thing. It's a bubble. People are going to realize that, we need to rely more on our intellect than we need to rely on systems to do things for us. The systems can do predictive analysis for us, and that's a good thing. It tells me when I am going to run out of capacity. It can tell me when I need when I'm wasting resources with too many servers in a product that I can reduce down to 2. In recent cases, we had a very complex scenario where we had to organize 356 databases on one server to understand how they were all related. This would have taken months for a human to do, and we were able to put an AI in front of that data and reduce that time to a week to give us a baseline of what those relationships were. So it does save time, but again, I go back to my statement that AI is just a tool for us to use. We still need to interpret the results.
And one more thing, sir,
Hello.
actually we are saying that, sir, one more thing, we are saying that actually AI is using the historical data or data. Whenever we find that huge fluctuations are there in the data, AI is getting failed in that particular area to analyze that particular data.
Yes. And we're also using AI to look for this inconsistent or bad data and help us identify it and correct it. So on both sides of the coin, we're able to use AI to automate and streamline what we're doing.
Yeah, as far as human judgment is concerned and AI's judgment is concerned, I think human judgment is more powerful than what AI is going to judge.
And I agree with you 100%. And that's why any AI system that I would be working with, building, or relying on, I would want to see the output as a human to make sure that what it gave me back is what I expect.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes,
Yes.
Patil, ma'am. Yes, Patil, ma'am, please.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. My question is regarding earlier AI technology. It is given lots of benefits, advantages to our society. But my question is, it is a curse or wound for society?
I think it can be a combination of both. I learned in my working session with my leadership that there's departments that are using AI to write letters and emails to our clients. To me, I'm a very astute writer, a business writer, and I think that my people should know how to write. Um, Having AI fix their problems to me is making those individuals less intelligent.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
I don't think that AI is a technology that we need to give up on. I think it's a technology that we need to understand and make sure that we're using it to our advantage as opposed to our demise.
Hello. Hello. Am I audible? Okay. Sir, one more question. What are the top 3 skills that student must develop to stay relevant in AI-driven workplace?
Can you repeat that a little bit slower, Raul?
Okay. What are the top 3 skills that students must develop to stay relevant in AI-driven workplace?
um, well, I think our core language skills are something that we need to keep. Um, uh, you know, if you look back at the advent of text messaging, I think that students have really forgotten how to write, and I think that's a huge mistake. And if we're going to use AI to try and have our students learn how to write, I think that's wrong. I don't believe in that. Um, to what skills do the students need to make sure that we're using AI properly? Well, it was related to me that there are a lot of young developers coming into the market, and the older developers are telling me that the students don't know enough about the overall architecture or language or the problem to even ask AI the right question. And
Sir,
I've
I have one question,
experienced
sir.
this
Sir, I
sorry.
have one question, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Sir, audible, sir? Audible, okay, sir?
Yes.
Okay, sir. What are some potential AI system in education, sir?
Okay, you're breaking up, so I'm not catching your whole question.
Sir, audible, okay, sir?
You're audible, but you're still breaking up. Maybe if you post your question in the chat, I'll be able to catch the whole thing.
Sir, what are some potential bias or limitation of AI system in education?
Sir, what are the some potential biases and the limitations of AI system in the education?
Bias and limitations. So uh, I'm biased because I don't believe AI and everything that the answers it gives to me. Um, I I look down on candidates that are too heavily reliant on AI in conversation, and even employees that are trying to get on this AI bandwagon. Um, when they come to me and they start talking that they used AI to do all of this, and I'm like, well, I did that in my brain, so why are you using AI to do it? Um, so as as a leader, I'm challenging my people to think critically and to not rely on AI to do everything for them. Because I don't want a bunch of staff that just go and type into Google or into an AI and get an answer, because 9 times out of 10 I don't like the answer. After my generation, I don't know where it's going to go.
Okay. More anyone having any questions? Okay, sir. How do we address the ethical concern while working with AI system?
Okay, so ethical concerns. Let's define that. Cheating, plagiarism.
Yes, sir. What happened? Many times we have seen that when we are going to write a research or some document, so most of the people or the students for their assignment, they are now using the AI tool, means the chat GPT most probably. But when we are going to submit, it is found that the plagiarism software easily catch what we have taken from the AI, right? So it will create more ethical issues in the research. So how to address those ethical issues and what are the way out from it?
That's a very good question. So if I can challenge my people to come back with a paper on that they've generated that I believe has AI in it, is it possible for me to um, give them a written examination or a written challenge that they don't have the opportunity to have AI for that can identify that they're relying too heavily on that AI? I think I can do that. And then ask the question. I mean, I think if we teach them in their first year of how we expect them to use AI ethically, then um, I think that'll create the framework of identifying the unethical part of our concerns. I think that a lot has happened in the last 3 years with AI and students relying on AI, where we as managers and instructors haven't been completely up to speed with our students. So I think it behooves us all to take advantage of AI for ourselves so we can better identify those areas.
Rahul sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
माझा क्वेश्चन आहे सर
Yes.
what is the future scope of AI in reshaping agricultural research?
I think AI is going to make a big stretch in the next 1 to 2 years that's going to allow us to create models to do research where we didn't have the resources to do before. And I think it's going to be very beneficial to the education system and the student. Um, you know, uh, just the fact that maybe your institution doesn't have the computing power to do the type of research, um, and it's going to open doors to give us that information.
Okay, thank you.
And I stress. Let me finish responding, but I stress that you as the educator should to start looking at this in your preparation time, so you know what the research is going to return, so you can use that to integrate AI into your instructions. Sorry, Rahul, go ahead.
Yes. Sir, was just one more. Sir, wish to ask how we can use AI or utilize AI in the agricultural sector, as you are also doing a farming along with your IT professional. Do you find that AI is useful in the agriculture field?
In which field?
Agriculture,
Sorry.
sir, agriculture as well as horticulture.
I'm getting feedback, so I'm not understanding the question. And there was two. Rahul, do you want to repeat your question? and let's finish that one, and then we'll move on to the next one.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Sawant sir wish to ask that what is the use of AI in the agriculture or horticulture field?
In agriculture.
And horticulture.
So we are collecting data in the United States on our crops and our agriculture and our animal health, and we're hoping that we can take that information. You know, this year produced a certain type of growth. What were the environmental changes from the year before? So we can try to use AI to actually answer what the differences are, so we can better predict what our crops and what our livestock are going to do from year over year based on the predictions of weather patterns and environmental patterns.
Milka Devraj sir, please. Devraj sir, are you there? Devraj sir?
I'm here.
Okay. Sir, Devraj sir wish to ask that the entire world is turning to AI. What caught my attention is back, Rock, the world largest and the most profitable company, is also investing in a huge amount on the AI. But that's far that the global scale. I wanted to ask, how would India be beneficial from this?
I believe that if I don't know about BlackRock because I'm following other investment firms. Um, if they make this information public and allow us all to use their data set, then I think it's going to allow us um, a better amount of data to give us answers. If they hold it close to the vest, if they don't share this information, then I don't know that that would be beneficial. And not only to India, but even, you know, some of these corporations in the United States are trying to monopolize the information from themselves to push one AI vendor out of the picture versus another. So I don't know that that's a global problem. I think that's a ethical standard that I'm hoping that our government is going to make a requirement that it's open. Does that answer your question?
Devraj sir, is it okay? Okay. Anyone wish to ask question? Thank you, Devraj sir. Anyone ask to wish the question? Anyone wish to ask the question? Okay. So with this, I would like permission from all the participants and Honorable Dr. Sawant sir to conclude this session. So I would like to extend my thanks to our resource person, Mr. James Ruddy, for sharing their valuable time, as well as he also cleared the doubts and answered the questions which are raised by the participant, and hope everyone is clear with the concept. So I would like to ask a switch on your cameras. So we will have one picture. Please everyone switch on your cameras. Thank you very much, everyone. So I would again like to thank Honorable James Ruddy sir for sparing his time and sharing the valuable insights about AI and the education. Thank you, sir. Now,
My pleasure.
Now, within the next 5 minutes, we are going to start our second session with Dr. Anuradha Kanade ma'am. So I would request everyone to stay tuned and online. So in next 5 minutes, we are going to start our next session. Our resource person have already joined with us. So I would also like to welcome Honorable Dr. Anuradha Kanade ma'am for the next session. So within the next 2 minutes, we are going to start the session. So I would like to ask our Dr. Ganraj Mane sir to begin with the next session. Thank you, James sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And if any